Greetings, everyone. My name is Jeremy Kautza, consultant with Hugh Life out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. In partnership with Mid-America PPTC, we'd like to welcome you to our Staying Informed, Connected, and Productive lab. This particular video shows an expert from that lab, which shows the instructional portion. We've cut out the interactive pieces of the lab itself in order to save some time and bring you this experience in a condensed format. We'd like to welcome you to the experience, and please enjoy. And that leads us to our first tool, this template that you can see can really help you in terms of meeting design and getting that design captured in a way that follows that natural order of thinking and reserves time and reserves space for all of those critical aspects or functions of a meeting. The first, few things are pretty self-explanatory. It's really important that you establish what your topic is for the meeting, right? How many meetings have we been to where it just seems like things have kind of rambled on and there was no real clear purpose. We didn't know why we were there or why certain other people maybe were there. So determining who those participants is another really important aspect of planning out that meeting. The next two really go to what we talked about earlier. What are the results that we want to get out of this meeting? What are the outcomes? Is there a plan? Is there a decision? Is there a series of recommendations? Is it an action that needs to occur? Is it just sharing of information? What is it that we want to get out of the meeting from a logical sense? That's kind of that meeting goal. Whereas the line below it, the experience of the participants, is really more aligned with how do we want them to feel as a result of the meeting? Do we want to motivate them to do something, to act? Do we want them to feel like there's a tighter connection and a team's connection and that we can rely on each other and support each other? Do we want them to leave the meeting excited for something? Do we want them to feel like they're accomplishing something or that they have accomplished something? Do we want to give them hope, right? So all of the different types of experiences and feelings and emotions that we want to attach are really important to think about as well. And something that we oftentimes overlook when we're thinking about the design of a meeting itself. The four pieces that we're going to take a little bit more time to go through then really follow with the final four rows that you see on this template. We really started off by getting grounded in context and what the purpose of the meeting is and how people are showing up, right? So we can have a conversation here. We can do some check-in types of questions. What's an important accomplishment that you've experienced over the past couple of weeks? Or how are you feeling about this particular meeting topic that we're here to talk about? Just getting some data out into the open about what it is that we're doing. Moving then along to getting those updates specifically on what people are doing or what teams are doing. And if we're all out into different areas, especially important in the virtual world that we're now in, it's more difficult to connect perhaps, or we don't have the ability to connect as often as we do in a face-to-face setting when we can just drop into somebody's office or work area. So getting those updates and really understanding what some of the accomplishments, roadblocks, barriers might have been, what some of the highlights might have been. And then taking all of that and figuring out where do we go next with this information. Now that we're updated and we've been informed about how people and teams are progressing, what are our next steps? What are some of the things that we might do to erase some of those roadblocks, some of those barriers? How might we capture and leverage some of the successes that we've had, the strength that we've been building, the opportunities that are before us? And then finally, ending with that idea about these are our next steps. We're going to summarize those, we're going to recap those, and make sure that they're really explicit for people before they leave the meeting so that there's no question about what it is that they're supposed to do.
That concludes this mini episode. To experience the full 90-minute virtual lab, you can register at the Hugh Life website, and that is hugh.life. Thank you again.